All right, guys. So I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, a good Kwanzaa. I think Kwanzaa started last night, and Kwanzaa is today. So I hope those of you who celebrate Kwanzaa, if any of you out there, I mean, there's got to be like some percentage on my sub count, right? But happy Kwanzaa to those who celebrate it as well. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about this Superman 78, The Metal Curtain. This is the sequel to Superman 78, which is, again, written by Robert Venditti. And it is the sequel to, like I said, to Superman 78, which is itself, it's like a new sequel to the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. They also do one of Batman 89. That one is written by the writer of Batman and Batman Returns, Sam Hamm. And that one, that was a solid But I am interested to see the sequel to Batman 89. I really want to read the sequel to Batman 89 called Echoes, which will be coming out, I think, in March. And that one's going to be really cool. The big reason why I want to see it is because we're finally doing Arkham in the 89, in like the Tim Burton universe, something we never really touch on. And it's going to have the like a Tim Burton-verse version of Harley Quinn and Scarecrow. Those are the two big reasons. I want to see Burton-verse Arkham Asylum and something done with that, and Burton-verse Quinn and Scarecrow. That's kind of the crux, and maybe it'll be better than the first one. But let's talk about this one. Again, this was a really good comic. Robert Venditti, clearly, he's not a writer. He's not one of my go-to writers. I thought his Green Lantern run was just kind of at best. But if I'm being honest, I think he's a better Superman writer than he is a Green Lantern writer. Because he clearly has more reverence for the character, especially Christopher Reeve Superman. Like, you can hear Christopher Reeve's voice in here. You can hear, oh god, who's the actor? George something. Who played... Basically, what I'm saying is you can hear all the actors' voices again. That's how good the dialogue is in here. Now, if you guys remember, in the last one, Superman battled Brainiac and actually found his parents again on the Bottle City of Kandor. But they don't really go into that. They do mention it here and there. I imagine the next one will probably... If they get a next one, they'll probably delve into that more. But this one has a cool revamp of another Superman villain, Metallo. So if you can guess from the Metal Curtain, Superman versus the Soviet Union. So in here, the Soviet Union found kryptonite ages ago and have been building with the help of Lex Luthor, who admittedly didn't realize he was working for the Russians. In fact, he even says, "I wouldn't have done it. I'm a capitalist." And I'm like, fair, Lex. We'll give you that one. But this is not John Corbin. This isn't like a, man made of metal with a kryptonite heart. This is basically what if this version of Metallo is a big robot suit that is more like Lex's power armor with the kryptonite heart. And it's a Russian KGB agent who is given this suit, and his whole thing is to destroy and humiliate Superman for the glory of the Soviet Union. The comic, I really like this one. I really like the Brainiac one. I really like the first one. This one is really cool because we get to see like a lot of cool parallels between, what does the Soviet Union think of Superman in 1978? Like, what thoughts on the whole matter of this Superman? And they actually kind of explain that, they're one of the reasons why they can't really fight the U.S. government is because Superman is there and he will stop them. But Superman, that's what they've been propagating, is that they'll say, oh, Superman is the ultimate American monster. But really, Clark is just like, no, I want to help these people. I want to, I really am I'm not just for the American way, I'm for a better tomorrow. And I like this moment where he goes to Moscow, and in the midst of it all, he goes there and people are panicking because it's like the Superman of America has come to kill us all. And he actually, sees a crying child in the midst of it, and he's like, here, I'll help you find your... I mean, it doesn't turn out well, but it's like, that's Superman. Even no matter what, he's of who you are and what, age, race, gender, or anything like that, Superman is here to help you. So I really like that. They also do the whole Lois and Clark getting closer to a relationship in here. These clearly have a different continuity because they don't mention anything of Nuclear Man or Superman 3 or 4. This is clearly meant to be like a different canon after Superman 2. So we're just following the first two Christopher Reeve movies, much like in the Batman '89 comics. It's very clear they're not following the Schumacher Batman movies. It's just the Keaton era continued. But yeah, the comic also has I'm glad I read this in trade because it reads so much better in trade. Basically, there's a cool action scene. Robert Venditti knows how to write a fight sequence. Like, the fights between Superman and Metallo are actually pretty kick-ass. I am not gonna lie. They are very solid throwdowns. But then there's moments, like, it's very much like Danny Warren Johnson's Transformers. And I didn't talk about that, but what I also like about Danny Warren Johnson's Transformers is the same thing of what I like about this Robert Venditti's Superman 76 comic, in that there's a big action scene, and then the next issue is like, we take a breath, we, talk more about the story, and then we build into it. And it's very cohesive. It feels like a movie. That's what I really like about all of this, is that it really does feel, very cohesive. And again, this is one of the reasons why I like to read in trade, because it just feels like one big cohesive story. Yeah. I really hope they get we get a third one at some point. I really do hope, like, maybe we'll get I would love to see how they would do how Venditti would do Parasite or Bizarro. I'm pretty, like, there's a part of me that's like, if they do a third one, it's probably going to be Bizarro. That is the big villain. Or I'm kind of curious to see how they would do 76 era Darkseid. Like, I would love to see, like, a Christopher Reeve universe version of Darkseid. That would be a lot of fun for your endgame villain. Yeah. So, if you like the first one, I highly recommend this. This was great. It's always good to read some good Christopher Reeve Superman comics, and this was really solid. I think I liked it. I love the first one, and I think I like this one just a wee bit more. So, thank you once again, Chris. I forgot to mention that earlier in the review. My apologies. But this did come from my good friend Chris. And Chris, brother, thanks again for this book. Really curious to see how Batman '89 Echoes goes. Like I said, the first one was but I think I've got a lot of interest in the second book. Anyway, so like I said, check this out. And other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.